Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. Now from politics, we talk about matters retirement. We're talking about dignified retirement for Kenyans, for Kenyan workers. Do you save for retirement? What are your plans for your future? Joining me for this conversation is Lazarus Casey, who is Director, Research, Strategy and Planning Directorate at the Retirement Benefits Authority. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
And also in studio, there's James Aratemo, who is Head of Corporate Communication at RBA. Welcome, gentlemen.
Asante sana.
Now, let me start with you, Director. Matters saving for the future are very serious. But the first thing I would want you to tell the audience, what is the mandate of Retirement Benefits Authority?
Thank you very much. Our mandate as the Retirement Benefits Authority starts where the first one is regulating and supervising the establishment of retirement benefit schemes in Kenya. The second one is to promote the development of retirement, to promote the interest of members and sponsors of retirement benefit schemes in Kenya. The third one is to promote the development of the retirement benefit sector. The fourth is to advise the Minister for Finance on matters relating to retirement benefits in the country. And the last one is to implement all government policies as relating to retirement benefits sector.
Yes. Have you implemented those policies?
Yes, we've been implementing. Just the last financial year end, 30th June 2024, we had completed the fifth strategic plan, and for 2019 to 2024.
Yes, we'll come to that later. But I'd also want to know from you, how do you categorize retirement benefit schemes within the country, Mr. Aratemo?
Okay, generally for viewers,
yes,
for the interest of those who are watching, we have two basic categorization. There are those schemes which are started by employers, what we call sponsors. Employers in the context of the retirement benefits industry are called sponsors, those who establish schemes. This could be government. Government is one of the employers in this country. And we have private or in the public sector. We have parastatals. For example, KBC. KBC, it has a scheme, and so KBC is a sponsor, or KBC is an employer. So those schemes are called occupational schemes. And the members for these schemes are those members who work for that particular employer. For example, somebody maybe from RBA will not join a scheme started for KBC workers. And somebody from KBC will not join a scheme for the Retirement Benefits Authority workers. So those are occupational schemes. But there we have another category called individual pension schemes or individual pension plans, what we call, in the jargon of the pension sector, we call them IPPs, individual pension plans. So these individual pension plans are there for anyone, okay? For anyone who is earning an income can join. Even you from KBC, if you think that the money that you are saving is not sufficient, then you can also join a scheme. And of course, then we have NSF, which is a statutory scheme. This is mandatory for any worker in Kenya. And of course, there is the law, the Reserve Act 2013, demarcates, tells employers how much they have to deduct and how much they have to contribute for their employees. So those three is the major categorization. NSF is for all the workers. IPPs, it is voluntary. You have to join, you have to register and start contributing. For occupational, you must belong to that, to that scheme by virtue of you being employed there.
Yes. If you're not employed, can you opt to join NSSF?
Of course, NSF. NSF just like the IPPs. Anyone who's earning an income, you can go get an NSF number and you start contributing. So even if you stopped working and you have a membership at NSF, then you can continue contributing what we call additional voluntary contribution or voluntary contributions. So you don't need to be employed by anyone for you to be a member of and it's a safe. Just like you don't need to be employed for you to be a member of an IPP. So they operate the same way.
All right.
Yes.
Lazarus, the strategic plan for 2019 to 2024, that is a 5-year strategic plan.
Yes.
What were the major achievements?
Okay. We have several achievements in that strategic plan. The first one, we grew the coverage. These are people who are covered by retirement benefit schemes. They grew from 15 to 26% of the working population. The other achievement that we received was the growth in assets, the pension assets. The pension assets have grown to close to 2 trillion from 1.4 in 2019. So those are the major achievements that would reflect on as the Retirement Benefits Authority. Because all other factors will lead to growth to coverage or the assets. Yes.
That means more people got into retirement schemes given the kind of growth that you are talking about.
Yes.
Now, last week, you launched another strategic plan. And in that plan, there's something about raising over 3.2 trillion. Walk us through that process.
Thank you very much. I think the strategic plan which we launched, and I request Kenyans to read it on the RBA website, www.rba.go.ke. You'll get a copy on the website. It has very good things about the sector.
Yeah.
Now, walking you through from what you've asked, increasing the numbers from 26 to 34, we are going to put up the strategies which are required to grow the numbers. The first one, we are going to move to the informal sector. I think in this country, informal sector are less covered in retirement benefits schemes. So we are going to move, we are going to talk to them. We are going to have programs talking about why we need to save for retirement, because retirement is not just for the working population.
Yes.
As you are aware, as you grow, as you work, even in the informal sector, they reach that time where your body now requires some rest. And that is the retirement we are talking about. At that time, if, for example, if you are a mechanic, it becomes very hard for you to go under the vehicle to check the engine or even remove a tire on a vehicle. So the body really mechanisms change. After age 65, the body needs a bit of lighter duties. So that we are going to talk to them, even farmers. As my colleague James has indicated, we need more Kenyans to join the independent, the individual retirement benefit schemes, because that is where the future for this country.
Yes.
Yes. Now, in terms of growing the asset base, we are asking Kenyan workers to add additional voluntary contribution, because this money is theirs. And the fact that you are saving in a scheme, there is that economies of scale where the money grows, the multiplier effect, the compounding effect. When you, I know most Kenyans don't like mathematics,
yes.
but in simple terms, that this money will grow with the time.
Yes.
If you started saving even as much as little as 500 per month, at the end of the year, you will have 6,000. Now that 6,000, maybe you save for another 20, 25 years, that money is going to grow. But the multiplier effect, this money, when invested, it will bring in returns. Those returns will also be reinvested the money will grow. In fact, by the time you grow, you retire after 25 years, you may get money that you think it is not yours.
Yes.
So there's that impact on the compounding effect.
Yes.
Yes. So it's very, very important.
Yeah.
We look at that.
Yes. I also want Mr. James Ratemo to talk about why saving for retirement is important and why start now.
The first thing you have put it, why saving for retirement is important. Yes. Because one day you must retire. Yes. Whether you like it or not. Let us start. That's the best. Yeah. Whether you are strong, whether you are 25, 26, 20, whether you feel that you are so healthy, you're so powerful, you must retire whether you like it or not.
There
and how do people retire?
Yes.
Age will catch up with you. Of course, the official retirement age for most Kenyan workers is 60. Of course, if you go to judges, it goes to 75. You go to, lecturers, academicians, it goes to 75. But of course, generally, according most schemes, retirement comes at 60. But of course, you can go for early retirement at 50. So from 50, you can retire. But then you cannot retire if you have nothing, you have not saved. Because when you retire, it doesn't mean that you stop eating, you stop paying rent, you stop even paying school fees, or you stop, requiring medical attention, okay? So one day you must retire. It doesn't matter what profession you are in. If you are a doctor, your eyes will fade, or your mental faculties will fail you. Or even if you are using your strength, even if you are a mechanic, my friend, you cannot open that engine, you cannot carry that engine anymore. So you must retire. So that's the reason why we have to think about retirement. And if maybe age doesn't catch up with you, you may fall ill. You may be involved in an accident. Even if you are a border rider, and then you are involved in an accident, you break your leg. Retirement has come for you. Okay? Number 3, you can even be sacked or you can lose your business. Remember COVID? Most people lost their business. Other people have never risen up again. So for them, retirement came early. Even if you're at 40, 55, maybe for you, retirement came. So imagine you have to struggle. By the time you reach 60, that's then you are struggling with the business. So somehow, everybody, let us agree that one day we must retire. We will get tired and we need to maybe hand over our businesses. Yes. We need to relax. But then when we talk about now relaxing or retiring, then you still need the basic needs. So that's the reason why now, as you work, these years you are working, then keep aside something small, like the director said. As you start saving, you can save as little as 20 shillings. 20 shillings in 30 days, if your income is daily, is 600 shillings. So imagine as little as 20. Anybody who is earning an income, if you talk to them, 20 shillings, 50 shillings you can save, or 500, some can even save 1,000. So depending on how much you earn, then start saving. Then, so one of the benefits is because we know we are going to retire, and this money is going to help you when you need it most. For you look very young. You can go without lunch. Yeah. But there comes a time when the doctor says you have to eat after every 8 hours. Yes. Maybe you are diabetic. So imagine. So then now I can tell you, you can even save more than maybe Mr. Casey. He wants to relax. Yes. Depending on age. Yes. So let us. We need to plan now. Why do we start? Which is the best time to start saving for retirement? I can say, if possible, with your first paycheck. Immediately you start earning an income, please put something aside, even if it's little. As your income progresses upward, you keep on increasing. So the benefits of saving for retirement is because we know it will take care of you in future. So it's you, the younger you today, will take care of the older you tomorrow.
And someone can have 2 retirement benefits schemes, like this one, your employer, the employer-funded retirement scheme, and your individual retirement scheme.
Yes. So you ask yourself, of course, you know how much your employer is deducting and how much you're contributing. Okay. You can even go to the provider and ask them. We even have online pension calculators. Suppose I say maybe 5,000. let's say maybe even at it earns an interest of 10%, for the next 20 years, you will see how much you are likely to receive at the end.
Yeah.
If you think the money is so little, then you can now increase the amount you are saving. So if you think the amount that the employer is saving for you and what you are contributing now is not enough, then you can voluntarily add. Then how do you add this? You can add now in an individual pension plan. Yeah. And why are we talking about the individual pension plan? Is because not everyone in this country is employed. So for them, what is the option? Is there only the individual pension plans. Yeah. But, and of course, for the worker, those who are working,
yes,
they have NSF and they have their occupational scheme.
Okay.
And you know, there is another benefit. You know, the government wants, to encourage people to save.
Yeah.
So what do? There are tax rebates you get. Up to 20,000 per month is tax-free. You know, you don't pay tax on that 50 up to that 20,000 per month.
Yes.
That means up to 240,000 per year is tax exempt.
Yes.
That's the reason why the director was saying the money grows faster in a pension scheme as opposed to other investment vehicles. Because imagine up to 240,000 is tax exempt. Otherwise, if you are not saving, it means you are paying tax on up to 240,000, which you could have been exempted if you join a registered pension plan.
Okay.
So those are the benefits why people should join pension schemes, because it's their money and it will work for them.
Director wanted to add a word on that.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think the paycheck here does not only refer to somebody who is employed in an office. This paycheck is even to Mama Mbogas, to our brothers who run matatus, these guys who are running Ubers, any business, even those guys in Gikomba,
the people who are selling sweets.
People who are selling sweets, they can afford 20 shillings per day or 50 shillings per day. You know, the 50 shillings per day will result to 1,500 at the end of the month. At the end of the year, you will have a lot of money. And this is the money we are saying you need to save for your future. You can imagine, you've been very active selling those sweets or selling bogas, vegetables, granules, whichever business you are doing. But the little money that you are saving is going to assist you when you are not in a position. Because as you grow, elements start coming in. That is now when you start wanting to be assisted. And even the churches, even pastors in churches also, they need to save, because they are not going to be pastors forever.
Yes.
There will come a time when they have retired. So this is the time they need to put aside some akiba for them. You know, there is a Swahili saying, akiba haiozi. It comes in at the right time. And something we need also to look at, the young generations we have now. You know, as our age, we respected our parents very much. But these youngsters we are calling Gen Zs now, you know, if you start calling them, you want assistance at the end of the month, these guys can block you. They will block you. And when they block you, you will be depressed, stressed, with nobody else to refer to. So we need to prepare ourselves. The old age is for everybody, because it's only God who knows the end day for each human being. So by saving, you are preparing your future. You can imagine, my brother, you are in KBC, and you are still young. Maybe you are driving a heavy machine. When you retire, you start going with the border. The borders, it means you will disappear very fast, because you are not used to that. You are used to your heavy machine. So for you to maintain that lifestyle in future and have a dignified retirement, you need to start saving. And you're going to be a motivation to the youngsters. they'll now start seeing you are saving, you are living well, and you'll be a point of reference. That Migvi's home is there, and Migvi worked very well.
Yes.
Migvi has put up a very good home. Migvi is living well.
Yes.
But if you become a bother to the society, you are borrowing every month, you want this, then it becomes a problem. That is why we are stressing. We need to start saving for retirement. The age should not be the limit. You may be late for some reasons, but you need to start now. So for those of us, those Kenyans who are listening to us now, I think it is a wake-up call. This is the time to begin and not wait for tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you think the mindset will change or is changing regarding retirement, saving for retirements?
Yeah, actually it's changing because we are seeing the number, the coverage is increasing. You know, if we are at 26% up from around 18% 5 years ago, then it means more people are embracing the idea of saving. It's all about the mentality. Of course, as Director said, this YOLO, you only live once, the mentality of, you know, today's gratification and not tomorrow. And that's what should change. And the reason why maybe this KBC has taken up this discussion is for us to help, you know, those who are listening, to change that mentality. You know, for, Director said, their age, you know, they could even depend on their children, you know. Yes. Hey, my son, I'm down, buy me sugar.
Yes.
But you see, today, you cannot depend on our children. The society, you know, is changing. And even those children you are depending on, maybe they are not able themselves. Some of our children will be, you know, going to Australia, Canada, US, and they are struggling. So you are left here in the country, or maybe you are left in the village and your children are in the urban centers. Do you think you can continue depending on the children? Things are changing. Those days, even your nephews, your nieces, or you as an individual could even take care of your aunties, your uncles. But today is nuclear. It even comes to individual now. You have to gratify you as an individual before you even think about even your children or even your parents. Things are getting, with this westernization, you know, these ideals are changing. You know, that societal, you know, that network, that fabric, which is so tight, is breaking away. So that is the reason we need to change the mindset. If you think that when you get old, you will sit and your children will take care for you, maybe you need to change. And that's why we are seeing most people are embracing this. We are seeing the coverage is increasing. Millions of young people are members of schemes. Not only occupational schemes started by sponsors or employers, but even individual pension plans. So if there are some who are still left aside, maybe because they didn't have this knowledge, we only say knowledge is power, then it's the time for them now to join the schemes. And these schemes are registered by RBA as the regulator. If you need to get to know more about these schemes, just go to the website that the Director mentioned, rba.go.ke. There's a list of registered individual pension plans. We even have given you the contacts. Approach them. Say, according to me, I can pay maybe daily 30 bob, or maybe monthly 500 or 1,000. And as your money, as your income changes, then you keep on increasing. So we are seeing the there's a mindset change. And we have, you know, the reason why we are even using radio, TV, we are using social media to reach out to the Gen Zs, okay? We are having seminars, we are reaching out to employers. We are using, you know, it's multi-pronged so that we can reach everyone. And we hope that today we have reached more people, and as more people get empowered, they empower others.
Yes.
And that's how we are going to reach even to those in the grassroots.
Yes. Speaking of reaching out to people, there were sensitization programs you carried out in February. What was the impact? And are there plans to continue with these sensitization programs across the country?
Thank you very much. I think RBA, the formation of RBA is to ensure the development of the retirement benefit sector. Now, the sensitization programs are ongoing. We are reaching the informal sector. We are reaching even those who are employed but do not have a scheme. As you are aware, we have very many employers in this country. We have over 4,000 employers, but not all of them have a retirement benefit scheme. We are reaching to them, talking to them, to be mindful of their workers. You know, the most important asset the employer has is not the profitability they are making, but the human resource. That human resource is very important. It needs to be taken care of very well, both now and in future. So we are talking to them. You know, when they join our scheme, they become sort of relaxed. Productivity will go up because now they are not caring how much they will go, how they will be living in future. So we have those programs, and they are running both on social media, on physical in respective counties, and just the other day we had a pension summit, a pension convention at KICC, where we discussed a lot. And we were glad the same was aired by KBC on social media. Those who followed us had a lot of great things. And like what my colleague has indicated very well, that the social assistance programs that depend on the exchequer are going down because of the economic circumstances. So we need to prepare ourselves. We need to go out. And even those of us in the public who are listening to us today, they need to pass the message to the youngsters that it is important for them to prepare.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll address something about pension coverage still low at 26%. That is going to happen after this short break. Stay with us. Why is this so, and what are you doing to enhance this coverage?
Thank you very much. I think we had mentioned earlier that we are discussing to people. And where are we discussing? One of the matters we are discussing is a change of attitude. You know, we all agree that saving is foreign to majority of us, because the attitude towards saving, people have a feeling that they have less to save. But as we have been discussing, you can start from the little you have as you progress. So we need Kenyans to change their mindset and the attitude towards saving for retirement. The second element is the youngsters. The youngsters, there is this thing they call YOLO. You only live once. It is not very good, because you know they say you only live once, but they wake up tomorrow. If that was to be maintained, they were supposed to be past tense yesterday. So there is a tomorrow and a tomorrow. So we need to prepare for that tomorrow and tomorrow. So the mindset of having you only live once needs to be erased. That mind about your future. Therefore, we need to change our minds and to focus for the future. If really we respect ourselves, then the way we dress in the morning, we also need to dress for the future. And the dressing for the future, we need to save for our being in future. Yes.
Do you think the current economic climate is contributing to this low percentage? And is it also impacting the effectiveness and sustainability of retirement benefit plans?
Thank you. There is, I would take it on twofold. Number one, the current economic situation is not only in Kenya, it is worldwide. is it has an impact on our pockets, a negative impact. Yes, but that does not take away our thinking of the future. The little we get, we can take little and save. For example, if you are spending 50,000 or 20,000, if you saved 1,000 out of the 10,000, you see you are doing 10%. So that 10% will grow. So we should not blame the economic situation. Let us save from the little we have. Then on the other side, the impact on pension schemes. Pension schemes, the investments, they already collected and remitted funds are growing because they are being invested. In fact, fund managers are using this time to invest more in assets that are yielding more because of the need that as players in the economy want money. And the fund managers have pension money. So they are taking that opportunity to save and to grow. You know, when there is a problem on one side, and on the other side, somebody else is enjoying.
Yeah.
Just the way you can walk peacefully, you are walking to a place, as you are walking, smiling, you are stepping on some insects down. So in life it is like that, that the economy is performing maybe not very good on one side, but we have people with the funds, pension schemes are investing, and their funds are growing. That's why we are seeing they have grown to the tune of 1.99 trillion. So that is the balance. Yes.
Now, Ratemo, what is the role or obligation of a member of a pension scheme?
Yeah, thank you. Even before I go to that, I wanted to also mention that one thing that we really want to eradicate among the youth is this issue that they want to spend today and forget about tomorrow.
Yes.
You know, some young person, when I told him that you need to save for yourself, he said, what do I save? What do I save?
They lack the rationale.
Fact, and every day, in fact, he's told me every 3 days a week, he has to get like 2 beers, you know, to cool his nerves. And I told him, please, can't you now reduce from 3 days a week to 1, maybe, just cut from 3 days to 2 days.
Yes.
He told me a beer was, on average, low-end areas, around 200 shillings. Can you imagine every week you start saving that 200? You have confidence as a young person, you know, maybe 3 hours a day, 3 hours a week. Reduce that to 2 times or once. You'll find that there's something you need to save. If you are not so hungry, you can even, you know, skip lunch. That's, if you skip lunch, you can save that amount of money. Okay, fine. What are the obligations of a pension scheme member? This is your money. And you say, you know, your heart is where your money is.
Yes.
So you have to, if you are a member of a scheme, you have to be mindful. You have to, you know, interrogate these books and get to know how your fund managers are investing your money. And these reports are always given during the AGM, the annual general meeting. And every scheme, according to the law, they are supposed to invite members to an annual general meeting so that they can, you know, give them the standing, the financial position of the scheme, where the money has been invested. So you have an obligation as a member, and it's your right actually, to attend an AGM so that you can interrogate the books. Number 2, there is what we call a beneficiaries form. As you join a scheme, you are given a form to write who your beneficiaries will be in case you are not there. Because, you know, death is unfortunate, but it's a reality.
Yeah.
So if you are not there, who takes your money? And you see, the law is very clear that money is from a pension scheme. Your pension benefits or your retirement benefits cannot form part of an estate. For example, if somebody is dead, you know, people go to the courts and then they get an administrator. And you see, you know, they can divide the wealth of that person. pension money is not part of that wealth. So for the pension money, it's according to what you've written in your beneficiaries form. Maybe 50% goes to my wife if you're married, 20% goes to the firstborn, maybe another 20% goes to the secondborn if you have 2 children, and maybe 10% maybe goes to charity, according to what you have indicated. So in case you don't do that, then the trustees who are the legal owners of the scheme, then they get it very rough. They have to do
just to cut you short.
Yes.
A pension scheme is not part of a will.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Pension benefit is not part of our will. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's according to what you've written.
Yes.
In your beneficiaries list or form. Okay. So it is your obligation. For example, a young person like you, when you joined a scheme, you were single, right? And maybe there you wrote your parent, because you have to write.
Yes.
And if it must come to 100%. So maybe you wrote your father, your mother, your sister, or maybe your favorite brother, or even whoever, maybe your cousin. But over time, you got married, you got children. But you've forgotten to go back to your beneficiaries form and change. So in case you die, when we go to your beneficiary form, we say, okay, 20% is go to the dad. Maybe even the dad is no longer there. The mother, the sister, the brothers. What happens to your wife and children? So every year, please, if possible, just review. Maybe you're married, and then by bad luck, maybe unfortunately you have divorced. But imagine your divorced wife is still a member, a beneficiary.
Yes.
What happens? This beneficiary will come when you're not there and say, it's written. Respect the will. It will take a lot of time, negotiation for the new wife and your children, to get something. So please, one of your obligations as a member of a scheme, update your beneficiaries form. And if you feel any time that you need to change, that's a living document. You can pull it out and revise. The revised one is the current one, and it's one which will be used when you're not there. So that is what I've seen most people tend to forget. Yeah. And maybe, remember, even this applies to where your money is. Even if it's a saving, even if it's a SACCO, even if it's an insurance firm, if you have a policy. All these, where your money is, there's always a form you write in case you're not there. Who takes your money? Just think about it.
Yes.
Go, pull out, and update.
Yes.
But for pension scheme, please, you need to do that, because as we have said, according to the law, that money it's not part of the will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another obligation, if you think there's something bad happening in your scheme, maybe the trustees have connived, they have bought a property which is supposed to be maybe 15 million, and then they're saying they bought it at 20 million. Yeah? Then you can whistleblow. You can anonymously report that. We have a whistleblower, portal on our policy, on our website. You can report, so that because you have a supervision department at RBA, then we can come and follow up. Of course, we do due diligence, but then we have to collaborate. So you are our eyes in the schemes. That's why you have to attend the GMs. You have to keep on following up. And if you think that when your benefits are not well calculated, or by the time you exit, you think that your benefits, they have been miscalculated, then you can sound an alarm. Okay. Of course, we are there to ensure that the schemes adhere to the rules. But sometimes, if they don't, then before you catch them, you can catch them and report to us. So don't be indifferent from your scheme. Yeah. Okay. Be a part and parcel. Follow up. So you have all the rights to know what's happening. Yes. If you have a complaint, it's your right to complain. We have a complaints department, a complaints division, which follows up. If you have a complaint, then we follow up with trustees with a scheme, and we ensure that, you get your right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Director, still along that line, let's say a member of a pension scheme has died. How long does it take for the family members to access those funds, and what is the process?
Thank you. I think my colleague James has brought in a very important element.
Yes.
The first thing a member is supposed to do is to complete the nomination form. That one is a must. It makes the trustees work more easy. If a member passes on, now the beneficiaries will come and make a claim. And the claim will be paid to the beneficiaries. But it's not a straitjacket. The trustees must verify who are the beneficiaries. Now, we have circumstances where some members have nominated their girlfriends as beneficiaries.
Yes.
It has happened. Now you are looking at me surprised. It has happened in some schemes. Under such circumstance, trustees will do the vetting. When they do the vetting, they will, to some extent, because you know a trustee is somebody you've worked together for a very long time. They may know your children, they may know your wife. So where you are bringing in somebody else, they'll need to verify. Once they verify, even if it will involve visiting your rural area to get more details, that they will do. Then it comes now to the payment. When all the verification has been done, the payment will be paid to the rightful beneficiaries. Now, from the time of lodging the complaint to payment, the time limit, payment is supposed to be done within 30 days. Once the documents are verified, everything is in order, the payment needs to be done within 30 days.
30 days.
Yes.
Now, are there cases where a member dies, but the family, maybe in a way, they do not follow up on pension, on the pension of the deceased? Is there a way that RBA reaches out to these families?
Thank you. Now, where a member has passed on and there are no claims, those are very rare circumstances.
Okay.
Because Kenyans are educated that when a member passes on and he was a member of a scheme, then they will follow. But we have circumstances where single persons, where I mean persons, it can be a young man or a lady, they may not have appointed any beneficiary. So in such circumstance, the authority will try to discuss with the employer to see. But the first point of reference, it is the employer, the sponsor, the one my colleague indicated. The sponsor in that is the one who started the scheme. You know, in this country, we have the word sponsor being used to mean different things.
Yes.
But this is the sponsor who started the scheme. I think it will be the first circumstance, it will be the sponsor going around to find out the welfare of the deceased.
Yes.
Because that person will be buried.
Yes.
Now the burial, the sponsor or the employer will take part.
Yes.
And after the burial, that is where the trustees may and try to find out the next of kins from there.
Yes.
So that's how. But where the funds remain with a scheme and they have not been claimed, then they are taken to the unclaimed financial assets authority.
Yes.
Yes. Now the UFA.
Yes.
UFA, as the short form of unclaimed financial asset authority, will now go out and do the connection.
Yes.
That these funds came in from a deceased, and they will try and get the beneficiaries from that. But in schemes, that is very rare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Ratemo, there's the aspect where when people are moving jobs and they would want to access a few funds. Talk about the importance of delaying this gratification, especially when one moves jobs. Yeah.
That's quite dear to my heart because I'm a victim. I'm a culprit of the same.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at my age, this is my fifth employer.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, looking for greener pastures, but now I'm settled, you know.
Yeah.
You know, as you look for greener pastures from one employer to another, And if it happens that you are a member of a scheme, you know the law in this country allows you that currently that you can receive up to 50% of your benefits. That's the law.
Yeah.
Okay. But this law doesn't mean it's not a must. You may, if you need, you can apply and you get this money. However, if I can use myself as an example, you know, I'm a trained journalist, and you know, journalists, they move from one media house to another.
Yes.
So I moved from one media house, and then when I was finalizing, you know, you have to clear with that employer.
Yeah.
When I reached the finance, they tell me, by the way, oh, you have benefits, retirement benefits. You can fill this form. Those days it was 100% of your own benefits and 50% of the employers.
Wow.
Oh, see, it was a lot of money, and as a young man, I was excited. I said, please give me this money.
Yes.
Then I sat down, I said, I'll go buy a plot somewhere, you know. Alafu nipigie mwili pole, nienda za Mombasa kwa maji ya chumvi.
Yes.
Hii ni pesa yangu, nimefanya kazi. My friend, in fact, if you ask me today, I cannot account for that money.
Things happened.
It was not good. But actually, I didn't need that money because I was moving employment, meaning the following month I still had a salary. Okay? It happened also the second time, but the second time now was a bit wiser. I said this money was meant for my retirement. So I came to discover that the law allows that you can leave your money, stay in that scheme. Nobody will take your money. When you reach retirement, you can go and pick your money. Or you can move your money now to your current scheme. I didn't know that.
Or so, you can transfer, if for instance you change employers, that money that you're entitled to, you can transfer to another.
The scheme. Because you're not accessing it.
Okay.
So there are three ways. You can defer the money, you can let the money stay there. Number two, you can move your money to your current scheme. Or number three, you can even take the money out to and leave your pension plan. You can imagine sometime now you become a consultant, you are not employed by anyone, but your money is scattered all over. You can collect your money and put it there. And you still continue getting the benefits of tax exemption up to 20,000 per month, you know, as you contribute. And all the money which is earned, the investment return, is not taxed in a scheme. That's according to the law. So imagine if your money is there, if they declare profits of 100 million, it is 100 million to the scheme. There is no 30% tax. That is for the investment return. So when money is in a scheme, it keeps on growing, that compounding impact. So I kept, now, the past 3 employers, my money has been intact. In fact, now I'm
yeah.
So this is what I want to tell everyone who is moving employment, because it happens. It happens. Unless you get a very good employer, you are paid well, you are settled, maybe you have no ambition, then you can stay with one employer for long. But the way I know young people, especially the Gen Zs, you know, they'll keep on moving. So what we do, what they advise to anyone who is moving employment and you have saved for retirement, please don't touch that money. I listened to one of my friends called Sandeep. He was giving an analogy that if you are moving, you are going on a long journey, you have filled your tank, your fuel tank. And then every station, when you pause, you go and take some fuel from the tank. You know, eventually you may not reach the destination because you have been taking fuel from the tank. It's the same thing. As you move towards the retirement, you need to keep on filling the tank. In fact, as it goes down, keep on filling, so that by the time you reach the destination, you have enough to take you to a further destination. So please, especially if you are moving employment, meaning you have a salary the next month, you don't need that money. However, maybe if you have lost your job, okay, and you have nothing, you want to start a business, maybe you can take that 50% to establish yourself before you come back to your feet. That's what I saw happen during COVID. Those who are members of schemes, that 50%, because currently the law allows you to take up to 50%. They took that 50%, or you can even take less, for them to reestablish themselves and continue. Immediately you are back on your feet economically or financially. Please ensure that you save even more, you know, to fill up what you depleted. So I wish I knew. In fact, I could even have retired by now because my money could be so much. But because nilichukua kila kitu, now I look at the amount which is there, I say I have to work harder. So This is what we call delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Of course, the law allows you can access, but this early access is what is making people not have adequate. So even if time for retirement has come, they want to work more because they ask themselves, if I retire today, what this money I have will not be sufficient for me. Yes. So you find old people, you know, sick people trying to work every day, you know, until maybe they die. Some people die, work until they die. The people you see, I will say, I'm very happy, you know, retired but not tired, they're enjoying their monies. They saved more. And they didn't, you know, access early. So access when it is darling necessary. But if not, please let that money be. Don't be a culprit like me. And the way you are laughing, maybe you are.
Let's take a short break. We'll continue this conversation in a short while. Don't go too far. Back to Good Morning Kenya, and the conversation around retirement benefits and why you should save for your future continues. Now, Director, I want you to talk about more on the strategic plan that is 2024 to 2029. What can Kenyans expect from that strategic plan?
Thank you very much. I think the current strategic plan, the one that is running from 2024 to 2029, we have three key results areas. The first one is efficient and effective service delivery. So what Kenyans are expecting from us, they will be accessible to the services we are rendering. The second key result area is sound and responsive regulatory framework. That is very important to ensure that the schemes are run well, they're effective and efficient in the so that they can take care of the welfare of the members. And the last key result area is the inclusive and sustainable retirement benefits sector. This is where now we are now going to do more of promotion to reach the ones who have not been covered. We are going to do more of partnership, just the way we are doing with the KBC now, to reach more Kenyans so that they can save for retirement. When we do that, we shall achieve our objectives. Yes.
Will that include sessions of maybe financial literacy forums?
Yes. And under that, the financial literacy forums are under the consumer protection, where we are going to do more on the planning element. For example, we are going to ensure compliance with the regulatory framework, that the members who are already covered in the schemes, their rights and obligations are respected. Secondly, we need members to save early for their medical in retirement. We've new products in the market where we are going to promote more of the post-retirement medical funds, where now members like me and my colleagues, even you need to start saving as you are working for your future. So that we are going to do more. As you save, you are also saving the money you are going to eat. At the same time, you are going to save for your medical. You know, in retirement, there are key three things that are important. Liquidity, which the strategic plan deals with very much in retirement. Then you are going to have issues of health. Now the one we are talking about, post-retirement medical. And the other key element is the issue of social fabrics. So that is that we are going to do that, and of course not forgetting the sustainability of the retirement benefits. It is the plan that was launched has very many things. So those three key result areas have objectives and expected outcomes.
Yes.
Yes.
And that strategic plan can be accessed on the RBA website?
Yes, this plan is on the RBA website. Accompanied to it, we on last week,
yes,
on Thursday, 29th, we launched the National Retirement Benefits Policy, which now, as our mandate, we are supposed to implement. This policy is very, very good.
What's contained in it?
Some of the elements that are contained in the policy are matters of coordination and harmonization of existing regulatory framework for the sector.
Yes.
The other element is the coverage. No, this coverage we've been talking about is now talking about enhancing the coverage to the 34. Now, how do we reach the 34? Again, the policy is giving a roadmap on how to reach there. The other element in the policy is the good governance and the sustainability of retirement benefits schemes. You remember you asked me a question relating to that.
Yes.
The fourth element in the policy is the portability of benefits. Again, is giving a policy direction on what needs to be done. The portability of benefits from both from one scheme to the other and also across border. Yeah. As you are aware, we have very many Kenyans working outside. Yeah. So they are going to benefit using this. The fifth element in it is we are going to promote and facilitate innovation in the retirement benefit sector. That innovation, it will make it cost effective and accessibility to the benefits that are paid. You know, nowadays, you've seen a bit of innovation. Even people in the schemes are receiving their benefits on M-Pesa. Some years back, they were to walk to a bank somewhere. Then the sixth attribute is adequacy of benefits. We've been talking about adequacy. Now, adequacy has been given we have a policy directive on that. Then the payout phases, post-retirement medical. Another new thing that the policy has brought on board is an establishment of a housing sub-fund. You know, in the developed world, we have old age homes. Yeah. Those old age homes are concentrated in certain areas. In this country, if you talk about old age homes, people start thinking they are going to be thrown to somewhere. But we now want retirement benefit schemes to come up with a sub-fund where on retirement you can choose where you want to go and settle. And this will be a very good thing, that we can have an estate that is only having retirees, pensioners. When you have such arrangement, it will be very good for accessibility of the benefits associated to Medicare. When medical professionals go to that, they will be attending to all of them at the same place. We shall have an advantage in that even those pensioners would have games among themselves. Yes. Because social fabrics are breaking. Youngsters are leaving their parents in the rural areas. And you know, when you are old, people don't pay attention to you. Yeah. And if you are not, attention is not given to you, especially like the two of you, James, and you, Mr. Migwe, yes, you are in the media. You are always in the limelight. When you go to the village and you are just in your homestead, if you visit somebody who doesn't have time for you, then you get stressed. We don't want that. Now, with the housing fund, you can go and settle where other pensioners are. Whether you can play those small games you used to play, you can do things together there. You know, if you visit an old age home, you will see those guys have there are games. They have football, they have chess, to suit them. Some of them go skipping. The ladies, the rope, the ladies were jumping.
Yes.
They are jumping at their pace.
Yes.
And the men are seated playing those games like Jua. Well, of course, I don't know how to play it. There are those games. So we need to make for them a very good place.
So it's a matter of making sure that you are in your retirement age.
Yes. Life
continues normally without interruptions.
Normally without interaction.
Yes.
And I think with this strategic plan 2024-2029, it has a bright future for the retirement benefits sector.
Yes.
Accompanied by the policy, the National Retirement Benefits Policy.
Yes.
And by the way, in the continent, we are the only republic. So Kenya is the first republic to own a national retirement benefits policy. In Africa, we are the first one.
Yes.
And this has made us, we've received very many visitors to come and see what we have done. And this policy was developed under the National Treasury. Of course, RBA played the secretariat role. And we, secretariat role, you are coordinating, you are bringing together. So with the partnership we are having with several others, we shall ensure the two documents, strategic documents, are well implemented.
Yes.
And when they are fully implemented, we shall, of course, have our dignified retirement benefits for Kenyan workers.
Yes.
Yes.
Ratemo, let me come to you. And there's something about, there are people who get very good money. I'm talking about, say, millions in a very short time. Case in point, like athletes. Is there an option for them to save in a retirement plan in bulk? So I would like you to talk about that.
Okay. That's very, very good. Allow me to start with an anecdote, a small story.
Oh, please.
There were these ants.
Yes.
They were, it was sun time, It was sunny. It was hot, warm, and cool.
Yeah.
It was not rainy. And there was a grasshopper playing around, It was sunny, it was playing around, and then it saw the ants carrying, pieces of grain. Bigger than even their heads.
Yes.
Then the grasshopper was asking, you guys, there's a lot of food around here. Why are you carrying food to your holes? Come and let us play. There's a lot of food.
Yeah.
And the ant said, no, Mr. Grasshopper, my friend. Don't think this food will last forever.
Yes.
We are going to store our food for a rainy day. The grasshopper, brushes them off, continues to play. Then rain came. And then now the grasshopper was so cold. There was no food. All of a sudden, there was no food. Then he went to the ants. The stores for the ants was full of food. They were sitting there now saying, hey, Mr. Grasshopper, now let us relax. See, I have no food. They say, this food is for us and our children.
Yes.
My friend, go and look for your food. Grasshopper went there, around, Yeah? So there was sun time and there is a rainy season. Every person has got their sun time, sunshine time, and a rainy day.
Yes.
What we call a sunrise and a sunset.
Yeah.
So when there's enough food, that is your, sunrise.
Yeah.
So when you have your time to earn money, that's your sunrise. It is your sun time, you can get enough food. For athletes, maybe their sunrise is very short. Because maybe within 5 years, we'll have other Manyalas coming up, we have other Rudishas.
Yes.
Rudisha. You remember Rudisha?
Yes.
Now Rudisha Bwana is retired somehow. He's hung his boots,
Yes.
Kaka, we have Nango Kano for those of those days. Yeah. Now we have these footballers that can wanasajika pale juu. All those, within 5 years, you will not hear them. New names will have come up. But this is their time. They are making a lot of money. What happens when now they stop making that money? Them, in Kenya, if you have like 5 million, okay, which you can spare. You know, you can save it in a scheme. Provided we determine the source of that money. Of course, to avoid money laundering. If you take a money to a scheme, even if it's 5 million, 10 million, it can be accepted, provided you say where it comes from. And you see that money is invested like any other money. So that by the time you stop earning, then you will have saved. But for yours, it's a short time, okay? But for the other people who are getting small money, small bits of money for a long time, save little. You also get the same benefits. So you can save 1,000 for 20 years. You will be equal to a person maybe who saves within 5 years, maybe 100 million, because that is their, sunrise time. So if you have a lot of money and you've maybe done deals, you're a consultant, you get a lot of money, save according to the amount you get. So that we don't find an athlete who was, who was top there. And then we start seeing stories from the media from grace to grass. It really, it breaks our hearts.
Yeah.
So anyone, as much as you're making money, yes, invest in cars, invest in houses, invest in education, invest in other people, but also invest in yourself.
Yes.
Put aside some money. If you know that you will get this money within a short time, then save more within that short time. So no athlete, no high profile, a prolific maybe footballer. These artists, they are up in the charts, but after some time they go down.
Yes.
During that time they were making a lot of money, but they save. Were they members of a scheme? That's why we came up with individual pension plans. Now we are even working with these federations so that they can even start a scheme for athletes, a scheme for footballers, a scheme for artists. We even have a scheme for lawyers because they are unique. They can contribute as a team and invest.
Right.
So no one should, retire into poverty.
Okay.
Yet you had your sometime.
All right. Yes. Director, if you're talking about demographics, anyone above the age of 18 can start saving for their retirement?
Thank you. I think anybody with an ID can start for saving for retirement. From age, in Kenya it is age 18. If you can open an account, you
to their, especially those in the universities.
Very much. I think in our programs for coverage, we have those strategic partnerships with the respective institutions. We even partnered with the KCID to develop the curricula, so that the issue of saving for retirement starts from junior primary school. And we have also those education programs with the several federations my colleague has talked about, so that we enhance saving. And as we talk to children, let them start that element of saving for retirement. As a parent, you can even start saving for your kid. You remember one of our banks had those small boxes to be throwing in coins for our children.
Piggy banks.
Yes, those ones. I think we can start once they hit 18. They will have saved. In fact, a very interesting thing happened to me personally. I used to give money to one of my kids, pocket money, as they were going to school. After Form 4, this kid came home telling me, "Daddy, I have saved over 80,000. You see?
Wow.
80,000. Now, my advice was that you keep that money, continue saving. Of course, they are over 18. I can't ask how much do you have. So it is the secret. So let's put that kind of mindset in our children to start saving. The age is not the limit.
All right. right. Thank you so much for making time to come on KBC and talk about these matters. They're very important, actually. And I hope you at home has learned a thing or two about saving for the future. This is where we cap this conversation and the entire Good Morning Kenya program. Thank you for watching. My name is Mike Migwe. Meet same time tomorrow for Entertainment Thursday. Good morning.